Oh, I didn't even see we was live. My bad.
What's happening out there in the world? We're back. Think Muzic Podcast, episode 13.
Wow, 13 episodes.
13. There go your Wes Craven right there.
13 episodes.
Friday, the 13th episode.
Ooh. Peace, Nene.
Peace, Nene.
Yeah, that's ill. I gotta get my mic joint right. Yo, that's crazy. Friday the 13th, Wes Craven. I was going for some what's your man that did Escape from New York? John Carpenter too. You know, John Carpenter, he used to do all the music for those movies. So he would direct, write, and he did the music. He's a musician. Like you can go online and buy the he put a few years ago, he put a project out of all his music from his movies. And it's pretty dope. I like it because it has that atmospheric vibe. I like atmospheric beats.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little nugget for those who didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Be like everybody else. We got to find some some sound effects.
Mm-hmm. Drop a bomb on them.
Drop a bomb on them. Drop a nugget on them.
Let's see here.
Get it right.
I get so many messages. They put some slides up. So what's up out there, world? We back. We're not gonna tarry long.
Hope all is well.
Yeah.
With everyone.
What's going on with you, brother?
I'm chilling, man. I went back and listened to my my live I did on my channel last Friday, and I think so some points of the video my beat was sounding really good, like I could hear everything in it, and then it would kind of mute out. So I think I just need to I think I'm set up correctly. I just need to find my levels, and once I find the correct levels, it'll sound the same throughout. So that's what I came up with. Because certain times it was like, yo, that's exactly how I wanted to sound, but I'm like, I don't know what I was doing. And you know how sometimes your mic can cancel out. Like if it's like a condenser mic, while you're talking, it can cover up the beat, and then when you're not talking, the beat plays out. So
yeah,
it could be. And even though this isn't a condenser mic, but at least I don't think so. I'll have to look at the boxing. I don't think so, but I think that was a corporate. But other than that, man, really been pushing myself, getting healthy, and I was gonna try to keep this, but I've been working out crazy.
So flex,
peace flex, and trying to get myself in good shape and get this weight off me and get it. Well, not trying to be bone thin, but getting it manageable. I just have a goal where I definitely want my tummy flat. I know that helps my back, so I really been going in on that. and it's been feeling good. So tonight, once I get done here, I think I'm gonna mess with a little music. I'm gonna go clean my building. I'm gonna hit the gym, man, and I really been feeling good. Um, Other than that, just doing work, constantly working on self. Um, and trying to keep control of thoughts and things like that, and not beat myself up if I get off track a little bit, but making sure I get back on the horse and ride out. So um other than that, that's what I'm at. That's what I've been doing.
That's dope. You know, that's dope. Tinkering, tinkering, and working on the machine. You know,
Yes.
so what else can you do? You know,
Yeah.
um, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at. You know, consistency. That's the key word.
Hmm.
Consistency. So for me, just working on that, just in the areas where I need to be more consistent. You know, um, uh, but it just come back. It's just it's no
Hmm.
fanfare. It's work, constant, ongoing, never ending work. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely true. And
uh,
oh, my bad.
nah, that's it.
Yeah, I think when you so you have, obviously, we know we have I'm not gonna call them obstacles, but I'll say um other things in our society to take us off of self. Um and you can just live in that world of, you know, watching whatever's on TV, watching whatever's on YouTube, and kind of just, and buying into what's going on in those realms. And then you'll find yourself not, you'll find yourself not. Good night, I love you, buddy. You want your hand in the video here, little buddy. There you go. That's my little one, Niaz. But you'll find yourself um caught up in some of those things to where um you're not working on doing what you need to do for yourself. And yes, don't get stuck in amazement, and when you peel back and start working on you, then you'll begin to understand those things are mundane, and not to the point where I think it's all looking at humanity and from a psychological standpoint. We're looking at humanity because whether we're talking about a celebrity, we talking about ourselves, something going on with someone in our family, it's all, I think, relative to the situation of people in different hierarchies are being dealt in particular ways. So we can get caught up in that, or we can get caught up in what we're trying to do and perfecting ourselves as best as we can, acknowledging what's going on with ourselves. And I get enjoyment out of that. And I peek my head under the veil and see what's going on everywhere else too. But you know, not living there and getting caught up in it.
Right. Yeah, because I think that might be. Well, you know what I say on the phone. Hey,
Tap in, baby, tap in.
you know,
Ah.
the thing is, it's always a risk of me sounding jaded.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I kind of pay attention to trends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So look, we're just gonna call some names. A few months ago, every time you got on the internet, it was Jaguar Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every day it was something new. Jaguar Wright exposes so and so. Then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden she disappeared. And she's still around, but it ain't, you know, her season. You know, she's transitioned to trying to, I guess, build a structure on top of the conspiracy foundation that she laid down, right?
Yes.
Now, I haven't watched none of these videos, but I keep seeing these come up of, well, there's two characters. There's the Kevin Samuels character, and then there's Kwame Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't watched none of their videos,
Yeah, I've never
but
tapped into the Kevin Samuels, but I did tap into Kwame Brown.
okay. Well, it's funny, like with Kevin Samuels, you got people uh they like put his name in the video and talking about him because he's buzzing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You even got parodies up of him, like comedians doing
I seen
parodies
the
of him.
I seen the funny one on Instagram too.
You know, um, then you have my man, the basketball player. Now, to me, he's like the current version of Jaguar Wright, just based on the titles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just sharing with y'all what our conversation was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my thing was, I told Dap, I said, you got shit going on in your life, right? I said, right now, you working. While you talking to me, you working.
Yes.
I said, now imagine if you start putting out a series of videos about how the building, one of your accounts, they tripping, talking about the floor ain't been done right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you start posting videos going at the owner of the daycare. You
Mm-hmm.
start posting videos going at the lady who's there, who your contact person, this
Right.
and that. Now, people are going to be like, who give a damn about your issue with that's your issue. I got my own set of um travails that I'm dealing with over here myself, right?
Yes.
I liken that to like the stuff that go on, like it's not that the situation, it's not about whether the person is right or wrong. To me, I think the conspiracy is to get us to give a damn about somebody else's life, and I want to make sure I'm clear, not saying that we should not care about, your fellow man or fellow woman, but isn't it funny how these things just come out of nowhere?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And my thing was, it seems like it's all seem like it's all theater. It's
Mm-hmm.
all theater. You know, because if we look at it from the standpoint, if attention is one of the most valuable commodities right now,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Then that's the play. Get your attention. And this leads us into our conversation. Everything's for sale, you know, because you mentioned something about you said people be in the comments be in the comments be like, I'm ride or die with you. I'm with you to the end. Like,
Yeah, I was bugging off the
oh,
comments.
hold
The
on.
comments is the party.
Yeah, the comments is that's where the social experiment goes down. You can see firsthand feedback. The chat is the control group, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't know, man. It's not saying, again, to me, my perspective is it's not saying that people points are valid, but it's like before there was social media, right?
Yes. You had the grapevine.
You had the grapevine, or and eventually the grapevine led to the two parties meeting some kind of way. The 3 o'clock fight after school.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The, and I know I'm probably stuck in the old world, but I'm still tripping on how people air out their differences across mass media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Flex says one has to think that she was allowed to speak that. She's been A-OK since. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, she was like, my life is being threatened and they're following us, and she's still okay, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So they was gang stalking you, huh?
Gang stalking you. Like I'm
And like, come on. And this is the game, you know. We always say this in our personal conversations. What's really real, you know? Like what,
what's real.
because now with the like let's just get to the foundation. Everything's wide open right now. We here. This is the party. We all in it. Now you got to kind of begin to segregate things and try to put things in a perspective, especially with this internet. The internet has opened everything up, and you know every news outlet has a comment section. YouTube has a comment section. So years ago I started calling the comment section the Pulse of America, because, or you could even add in the world, because anybody can tap in with an avatar, not your real name, not who you are, and say what you really want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like people are saying what they really want to say, because you ain't got to put your real name on there. You ain't got to put your real picture on there. Your name could be XYZTJ, and then you can say whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, there's people that can get your IP address and trace something back to you, and maybe something happened to you offline that you making these comments, only you gonna be able to know that's happening to you. You know, if you a commenter, you don't have no type of platform where you're expressing what's going on. Like, yeah, something can come back to you. You know, maybe you get some crazy phone call. You know, because we know the FBI makes deals with hackers to help them find other hackers and to beef up their security. So, so I think with that, everything's wide open. You don't know who's saying what for clout. You know, what they say, people capping, clout chasing. So it's like she talking about people following her. That's the play. That's been the play. Anytime we hear conspiracy stuff, that's been the play. Like, how did they say William Cooper died? Somebody ran him off the road, right? How they say Gary Webb died? He shot himself twice in the head, right? The guy that the movie Kill the Messenger is after. You know, who the one that broke down the whole Nicaragua drug trade and all of that, and them bringing drugs into America and into urban neighborhoods and all of
And
that.
the Clintons.
The Clintons, like, he was exposing, and then he took two to the head himself, right? Oh, I didn't get myself the proper time the right way. Let me do it again. You know what I mean? We supposed to believe that. So, what I'm saying is this. we're all human, and if somebody's been pressing you, and this is why I say there's hierarchies, right? You got celebrities, you got us that's just, you know, non-celebrities per se. So the thing with Kwame Brown, why he is doing stuff in public, and I don't know if he's clout chasing, what have you. But what I do know is this: I started looking at it more from a human standpoint, and I know Jamal's, in some ways, he think there's more nudging from the nefarious side, right? Like, you know, people are being pushed to do this from somewhere else. I kind of look at it in some situations. I see that. Some situations I see like somebody's just being tired of people pressing them. You know what I mean? He's made a decent piece of change in the NBA. He played in the league. I think he was in the league over 10 joints. And I always say this: as humans, we don't have anything else to talk about but other humans. You know what I mean? So if you got sports figures or music critics and all of that, we're going to talk about what other people do. But there's some control in how you do that. There's a way you could do it respectfully, or you could just be in your bag and think, because I'm a journalist, I have the right to kind of say what I want because I went to journalism school. Like I always tell a story about this guy that was writing about Derrick Rose when he was in Chicago. And I'm watching this documentary on Derrick Rose. It's called The Rose That Grew Out of Concrete, I believe. And the writer was saying, he was saying some things about Rose, and he seen him at a party or something. He didn't know what to expect from Derrick Rose. He thought Derrick Rose was going to black out on him for what he said. And Derrick Rose seems to be like a humble guy. He approached the guy and they had a back and forth, but it wasn't anything negative on Derrick's part. But what these writers and things don't understand is you're talking about another person, man. And sometimes these guys talk with a little bit of vitriol that's just too much. And these athletes can't really go back and say nothing to these guys because they're playing in the league. They don't want to be blackballed. They don't, you know what I'm saying? So they got to take a lot of stuff, most of the time until they retire. You know what I'm saying? But these journalists play a role that, and then we know like every athlete is not a journalist. Like we know how the game work. Like these guys got producers. These guys got people that give them the information that they talk about. Like they'll kind of freestyle a little bit on certain things. But why do you think they got all those papers in front of them? Like, and they didn't produce that themselves. So, they don't know all these stats and all of that. Like somebody's doing all of that for them. So somebody's giving them a topic and they're giving them talking points and they're giving them, you're going to take this position, you take this position, and then we'll give you a little bit to write about. And then you guys kind of freestyle. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, like I get what he's doing. And I don't know if somebody's putting a battery in his back in the background, but on paper it seems, like he has a legit comment because a legit reason to say something back because these guys are, it started from that All in the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and they were on there killing them, and then it's been going since then.
Yeah. Jaguar Wright had significant points as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so much talking about the guy Kwame nor Jaguar Wright. They're not controllers. They're pieces. I'm talking about the people that you just mentioned who are giving these guys their scripts.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm saying is these people may the lesser level people who are just the pawns may need to pay their mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
They may need to pay rent.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are still trying to live in LA when their career done already crashed. and they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to put their tail between their legs and go back to Tupelo, Mississippi, or go
Mm-hmm.
back to Chatham, go back to Tennessee or go back to wherever, and maybe have to work at Target,
Right. Right.
putting stuff on the shelves at night. So they feel like they have no other choice but to play the game. So the
Yeah.
script comes down that Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes are going to talk about a cat who's not even relevant.
Right.
He's not in the league. He's not relevant. So it is to engage him just to have some banter, some back and forth jousting, because I'm looking at it from the magical standpoint
Mm-hmm.
that they feed on the people through their exchange back and forth, especially while we're in Gemini season. All these all these planets are in, we got the North Node in Gemini, Venus in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, you know, Sun in Gemini. And so that's back and forth communication. And it just so happens all of this arises at this time. And so it's another way for the overarching whatever that is,
Mm-hmm.
that the hand behind the hand, the hidden hand, to feed, because what's being fed on is the people's attention.
Yeah. And it's so
That's what I'm
funny
saying.
because and what's funny about that is they had Jenny Buss on. How this whole thing started was they had her on, and they they were talking about some I didn't watch the podcast. I'm going by what the others have said, but she was talking about some Laker business and about they was gonna trade about trading Kwame Brown when he left. I don't know what team he went to after that. And then like Matt Barnes chimed in like you don't have to say his name or something like that. And that's kind of what triggered it. And then it moved from there. But um but yeah, man, I feel like you in the sense of everyone's I don't know, everyone's trying to find a way to keep themselves in the game, and you'll almost do anything to stay there once you've had a what you say your man said once you get a what's the guy saying once you get a taste of uh
Luxuries,
luxuries.
once tasted, become necessities. That's this
Mm-hmm.
guy. He's another. He's another one. He got his channel called Savage Finance,
Mm.
um, and that's one of his sayings. But he's okay. Look. Let's go there. Now go ahead, finish your point. I ain't.
Nah,
It's
that
still
was
on.
that was it. It just happened back into what you're saying. If you're doing something and it's had its run, now you're still trying to find a way to stay relevant, and you'll do whatever it is to stay there. Most people. Now you didn't had so I was doing this thing a while back where I was watching Western. I was watching. I don't have cable, so I have like the digital. I have the digital antenna. So I get this channel called Grit. They show westerns, and I like westerns because the dialogue is mad ill. You know what I'm saying? And like it's just crazy. Like most of the people got guns. You talk crazy, they get ready and pull on you or something like. And it's a lot of old western joints. So I was like pulling up these. I would pull up an actor or actress name and just kind of see what they did in their Hollywood career. And I will pull up names and you would see like some of them acted for a while, and then they started a family, and that was it. You know, they stopped acting. They started a family, got a job, and lived their life outside of Hollywood. And it was a lot of that. I found a lot of that. Some people did a little things up into the '80s, and then they kind of went a different way. But I think it goes into the same thing. But it's a little harder if you're a known entity, right? Like if Chris Rock could no well, I'm not gonna say could no longer do comedy, but if he decided to no longer do comedy, or no, let's just say a lower level comedian, right? He's kind of known, but he's not on the scale of a Chris Rock and Cat Williams and all of them. But you've been in a couple things, people seen you, and then comedy's not working. You won't go get a job and
Mm,
say, because you're scared that you was in a movie or on a TV show or had a couple stand-ups, and you're afraid of that person coming up to you saying, "Yo, what are you doing working at Lowe's?" Right?
right.
You're afraid of that. You know what I'm saying? So now you get caught up in, I can't be the guy that gets asked the question, why you working at Lowe's? I think we said something on this podcast before about the dude Jeffrey. I forget his last name, but he played the husband of what's her name on the Cosby Show. How he was minding his own business, working at Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think nobody at Trader Joe's may even knew who he was for real. Like his coworkers might even know who he was for real. And
Mm-hmm.
then it comes out that he's working at Trader Joe's, and then you know your man comes to his aid. What's Medea's name?
Oh, Tyler Reese
Yeah,
Perry.
Tyler Perry comes to his aid, and puts him on the show or what have you. But but what he did was commendable. What he did was like, yo, Hollywood's not calling me, and and I have to sustain myself. So he went and got a job, and he was chilling. So
Mm-hmm.
he could have did whatever to try to stay in Hollywood, but he was like, it's not working. So I gotta go work. I gotta sustain myself, and that's what he did, and he had no problem with it. But some people can't do it. They just can't do it, especially um some of your YouTube guys.
Come on, let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Some of your YouTube guys,
keep it
you
rolling.
know, you can't see you. They don't want you to see them at Home Depot. They don't want you to see them stocking shelves at Wally World. You know, running the floor machine at Target.
Look at here. Look, I got to say this. I got so much I want to say. First of all, here's one game. Belittle people cause they work. The whole you working for the man thing, right?
The man owns everything. You can't
The
get away
man
from
own the man owns a platform you own.
it. The
What you
man
talking
owns
about?
everything. Right.
So, but um, you a sucker if you ain't an entrepreneur. But I will take your sucker dollars though to support me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta think. A lot of cats, low key, their whole paradigm is based on pimpology.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Goins books to you know
Good books too.
48 yeah 48 laws of power and it's like it's about how you use things. But
Yes.
a lot of people are using knowledge to be predatory. I want you to pay attention to how many people do this when they're doing a video and they say y'all y'all and what they're doing to you. Like, wait a minute, this is what I'd be wondering. Where the fuck you get out of everything past like, oh, so none of this stuff applies to you. All right?
Mm-hmm.
That now I grew up going to church.
Mm-hmm.
I recall a lot of these same things I used to hear in church. Because when I was a child, I was bothered by the fact that the preachers would present this lofty experience they would have with God that was so abnormal and different from what the people in the congregation could have.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think, well, why is it that God came to you and I mean you mean he talked to you or it talked to you? Like these dudes would describe these elaborate situations where
Right.
I remember this one preacher say, I have my ear to the heart of God. I said, God damn, that motherfucker cold. He got his ear to the heart of God. That means how can you question anything I say?
Mm-hmm.
My head is right on in God's bosom. You know, I hear the same rhetoric on YouTube. And
Yep.
look. And the thing now is you got to constantly beat down the church. Look, I've said this and I'm going to say it again. The church is fucking dead. It's been dead. Just like the NBA is dead. Sports is dead. They're trying to resuscitate a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even need to even keep beating up on the church and the preacher. So it's something different. It's something else going on. It's a competition. We're talking about two people, two entities that are of the same basic quality that are competing against each other. Same rhetoric. Don't talk like right now. We're talking to our audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between talking to the audience and talking at a motherfucker.
Right. Right.
And so now things are getting tight. Things getting
Mm-hmm.
real tight. I've been observing, and I'm gonna say this, and but I want to go back to this guy that you asked me who said that about luxuries once tasted become necessities. This guy is in Atlanta. He does videos on finance, right?
Okay.
Every video he's got to remind you that he's a millionaire. Every video has got to remind you that he's got a Porsche, he's got a Ben. I told my wife, I said, somebody gonna rob this motherfucker. You done started renting cars and you talking about somebody that came to your house. Do you not know Atlanta?
Yeah.
You had somebody. What
Did
kind
you
of
see what happened?
jackleg shit?
Did you see what happened to what's his name? Uh. Uh. I forget the rapper that's down with Kanye that got chased on the highway in this Bentley truck.
Travis Scott.
Nah. Um. Oh, I can't think of this dude's name right now. I'm gonna have to Google it, but my bad.
Yeah, I mean these. You getting on YouTube bragging because what it is he's got to constantly make his audience feel like he's above them. That's what it is because that's the ticket to try to sell whatever he's selling. But he keeps
Sci-Hi the
saying,
Prince. My bad. Sci-Hi the Prince was the rapper.
"Oh, Sahara the Prince."
Mm-hmm.
He keeps saying that, and he's telling the truth, mind you. Now I'm not going. The truth is the truth. He keeps saying that we're in that the it's a weird economy. He's saying people don't want to work. He's saying that we're heading towards socialism. He's telling the truth. And he's saying, but here's the kick. He keeps saying, I keep trying to tell you guys, that's why I'm trying to help you, da da da, and that go to bullshit. I'm trying to help you guys. I'm trying to show you, no motherfucker, you're selling courses online.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with that, but what we're seeing is the line is blurring here. The screws are getting tightened, and so a lot of people have made a lot of bread off of being able to chill and get on the internet, build up a following, you know what I'm saying, and
Yep.
sell things.
Mm-hmm.
And now, in my opinion, this was created. It was created and it had a shelf life. And now we're starting to see that shelf life starting to come to an end. And it's like, I ain't had a job in 15 years. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's like, I'm chastising people because they're not hitting the cash app. I'm chastising people because they're not super chatting. I'm telling you, you're a piece of shit. Hey, look, there's 9 people watching right now. We're only, get the likes up, you mother. What's wrong
Yeah.
with you people? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But they need it for the algorithm. It helps the algorithm so people can find the video. It's like this too, you know, because we don't like Jamal say, no one's jaded. We're just talking about the matrix. And it's like this. You can find all the Zig Ziglar books, audibles online. You can find all the what's your other man? Because I just really started learning about some of these cats. Um uh what's the other dude? Um uh we know Robert Kiyosaki. Who's your other man that did the financial joints?
Grant Cardone, he's big time.
Grant Cardone. But it's like some of them older cats now.
Tony Robbins and
Yeah, and and it's a couple older ones from like back in the day too. I can't think of their names right now. But it's like all of that stuff is online now. You know, I was telling Jamal I was going just, I was looking up some finance stuff and I kept seeing how to get rich and this and like these joints got like 1.3 million views, 1.2 million. Like everybody's trying to find a way to get some bread and to do, and we know what we know what the we know what it's for, right? Supposedly, it's like, I need to build a legacy. I need to have something for my children when I leave here. Like this is why we want, money. We want to give them some type of inheritance, right? As a parent, you want to leave your child something so they can progress. Now the other side of that is how are you educating your children to hold on to what you leave them with? Because that's another part of it. But and when I Ubered for like a year, I ran into a guy that worked at a financial place. He told me these rich people, their children don't even want to come to the class to find out what they do to maintain this money for the parent. He was like, they don't even come to the classes. Like they're not even interested. They just like, when the parent die, I get the money and then whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that's not being educated. You know what I mean? As far as how to maintain. But on but the flipping it back, um, so now everyone's got this information and they're all putting it forth. So, yes, do I want to look at channels to see um how to have my YouTube set up and some cameras to use and some, some mics and all of that type stuff? Do I watch videos about that? Yes. But with under the umbrella of everything's for sale, that's what that's what it is, man. Like and then it becomes, what am I getting? What are the tangible assets that I'm getting from what you're selling? So we always just talk about, we know we need things, but when you're selling someone something outside of a need, be it food, clothing, and shelter, once I get out of that realm, everything else could be a want. Those three things is what you need. Everything else could be a want. So if you selling me a business course, well, how do I know you've been successful in your business? You know what I'm saying? Like if you selling me a t-shirt, that's tangible. Okay, you got a t-shirt for sale. I like it, or I may want to support you. I do that. But now when you selling me a business course, how do I know this business course is going to work that you're giving me? What videos are you showing me that's like I did 1, 2, 3, and here's some paperwork to show that this was my success from doing my program? I watched the dude go from beginning to end for an NFT. He showed and I mean this dude was like intense with how he did it. Like he showed his artwork that he was gonna put on it, use as an NFT. He showed you that the artwork he wanted to use wasn't even finished. He finished the artwork. He told you what sites he's going to upload his NFT on. He's showing you all of this on his YouTube video, like typing his information and all of. Now he's blurring out his personal business, but he's showing you the actual website he's on and what he's doing and how much this is going to cost, and like he's giving you an ill breakdown. And then he uploaded it, and at the end of the video, obviously, he uploaded his NFT, but then you got other people telling you, because NFT is pretty much is about art for real. But you got people telling you if you ain't got no following, nobody's gonna want to buy your art. And it's like that's not even how the NFT thing work, man. It's like, yo, if you put an NFT out and it's a piece of art and someone likes it, they're gonna buy it. You don't gotta have no following. Now, yes, when celebrities start doing it, obviously it's gonna do what it do because a celebrity is, and we know that. But I'm talking about the common person that's an artist. That if you put a piece of your digital art on this platform and someone like it, they're gonna buy it. And you could be Joe Blow. You know what I mean? So it's not all about you gotta have some type of following. What's your worth and why would somebody want to buy something from you? Yo, it's the art that they're buying. They're not buying anything from me. You know what I mean? But people are selling you that because when they put something on it, they want you to buy it. You know what I'm saying? They want you to buy into their celebrityism. So when they put an NFT out, you can buy it. And then what happens with the NFT? The artist gets something every time it's sold. So like right now, if you go to like Christie's or something and buy a piece of art at an auction, that's a one-time sale. Once the artist get that one-time payment from selling his art, anybody else that's selling from there, the artist no longer gets any money. The person that's selling it gets all the money. So with an NFT, if I put a piece of art out, every time it's sold, I get a portion of what it was sold for. You know what I mean? You get a residual every time it's sold. So that's the whole play on that. But you got people out here telling you, we about to give you the whole play on how to make this rock. And they ain't showed you one way. They haven't showed you online how they did it for themselves. But they're going to do a webinar on how you can get in the game. And all you got to do is just go type in NFT in the YouTube search engine and just start watching videos. And I don't got to pay $200 for your webinar to learn what I could learn by somebody that's going to show me exactly what they did from A to B, from A to Z. And that's all we're talking about. Isn't what? Sorry to cut your wisdom, but and I'll end it here. I'm just saying, what is behind someone selling you when it gets past food, clothing, and shelter? You know what I'm saying? Anything else? I'm just saying, like, show me that it worked for you before I buy it. And if you can't do that, then I'm on the hope and a prayer with you that this thing work. You know? And a lot of these guys are just throwing things out there for the money grab because these dudes don't want to go work nowhere. They can't go work somewhere, and when they work, they can't have a Wonder Woman bracelets on at Lowe's. So you know what I mean? Like, and when I see you in there, I'm like, yo, what you doing in here? Oh, you know how it is, bro. You know, I'm tapping in. So now you don't want to work, but you want to every 6 months, like cats be on their quarterly shit. Every quarter you got a new webinar coming in, selling it for such and such, you know.
Oh man.
And then you telling people, and then you saying you for the people, and then I'm not doing nothing for the people. What are you doing for the culture?
Real rap. Real rap. The reality is this. We're living inside of one huge big Ponzi scheme. And what's happening is
Yes. The whole
what
financial system is a Ponzi scheme. If you
yeah,
listen, just go dig into it, guys. Go dig into our financial system. Listen, it's built on compound interest. It's built on fractional reserve banking, where you put
speculation.
yes, the stock market is controlled. All of that.
And so the thing is this then. Even the people we're talking about, we're not shitting on them. What we're
Not at
saying
all.
is what we're saying is it's all victimization.
Yes.
When a child is born, a child does not come out the womb thinking, how can I run me a scam on everybody? Okay?
Right.
That is something that comes out of lack.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wound. And the wound is created by this great, huge, as a lot of people say, this cabal that we're living in. It's
Mm-hmm.
all a Ponzi scheme. And so what happens is if that integrity is not intact,
Right.
what happens is we can then say, fuck it. I'm gonna run me a mini Ponzi scheme inside of the macro Ponzi scheme. Ain't that what they say? The people get the shitty record deal, and they try to go and find somebody else. They start them a little bullshit label, and they try to go and find a new artist that they can shit on like they got shitted on.
Yep. Yep.
So that's the name of the game. The thing is like, so where's the integrity? That's what, because I mean, this is what I say to Dap on the phone, because I have to be like, hey, I can't be no hypocrite. I got shit I'm selling, you know. And I always say, hey, I don't have no problem with nobody selling whatever they sell. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have the wherewithal to choose whether I'm what I'm gonna, you know, patronize.
Right.
My problem comes in when things are misrepresented.
That's it. That's all we talking about. That's it.
You know, don't say that you're out here sacrificing your life for me. You a stupid motherfucker. You got children. That's who you supposed to be sacrificing your life for, not me. I don't need you to do shit for me. So we already know it's a game because you have to keep telling me that you're working for me. You're not. You know what I'm saying? That's not what this is about. You are responsible to your inner circle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now what we can say is that as a collective, I'm responsible to input light into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of us is responsible to share, and however that is, some type of light. It might even be you run into somebody at the barbershop, my man's down on his luck, and you might just say something positive. That it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
But see, now this whole thing of influence makes us think that you got to be doing it on a grand scale. And
Yeah.
when you see these
How can I
entertainers,
monetize it? How can I
it,
monetize it?
exactly. And when you see these entertainers who have all this influence, it can make you feel like your little minuscule life ain't about shit.
Mm-hmm.
When you really look, this we're gonna let y'all in on something on conversations. We often circle around in our conversations, like, we might discuss some frustrations of, well, for me, I'm gonna speak for me. You know, frustrations of me is always time.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, man, if I had just a little more time and da 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 da, and then we start laughing, and not to make light of nobody's situation, but we just be peeping shit like, yo, was my man behind a dumpster? was was he doing a live behind a?
Mm.
It's like, look, man, by 10 o'clock, I'll be ready to go to sleep. So I know at this age, when I see cats around in our age group, I know they tired. Always got to be out somewhere outside of their home, walking around with a phone in their face, doing a live. That's a tiresome life, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You want to be somewhere at your crib sitting back. If you're going to do a live, let me just turn the camera on at the crib and I'm going to do this live. But to have to get up and take a Uber or get in your car and go down to this, like, that's tiresome.
Yeah.
And we be like, we live in the L7 life. You know what I'm saying? But goddamn, that might be where it's at.
Yeah. I think we have more than we think we have. In my opinion. Um, if you go on to work, so what is success? You always hear people say that. Success for me is um I have a job where I have a business. Um I have accounts. Uh my relationship with my wife and my children are in a good place. Um I could rub some pennies together and throw some clothes on. You know, we got two decent running vehicles. A little bread in the bank. Um, I'm successful. I'm successful. Now, am I successful on the scale of I'm some type of grand entertainer, hip hop producer, all of that? And that in those eyes, no. But am I taking care of myself and my family? Yes. Because there's someone living under a bridge somewhere. There's someone downtown sleep right now outside of a building. There's someone living in a car. There's someone, now I know that's the end thing. Now people are doing they off the grid and all of that, but there's some people that don't want to do that. That's doing that. Right. So what is success to you is the question. And if you maintaining with a roof over your head, some pennies to rub together, food in your refrigerator, you can get up and go to your refrigerator right now and eat a sandwich. You're living, bro. You're successful. Now, what happened is we start peering into the world, and yes, we may see some things we want or some things we want to do, this and that, and then you may start making inroads and maybe do some other things. But I think we just got to start looking at the situation for what it is. A lot of people are in a good place. Now, yeah, can you want more and all of that? You start doing that, then, that's your own personal thing. But on the basics, food, clothing, and shelter, a lot of us we rocking and rolling. You know what I'm saying? We rocking and rolling, and we don't have, you can see me on this YouTube and then see me. Well, I have a business, so you won't see me working anywhere. But Like if I had a job somewhere else, you might see, like when I was working for Frito Lay, you might see me stacking chips in the joint. That's my joint. That's my job. I'm not on YouTube telling you I'm nothing other than what I'm doing.
Right.
We just here chopping it up. We do music together. That's what brought us together. We have some other things in common, and we come and chop it up about what's going on in our lives and what we're trying to do with the music and all of that. So if you see me out in Food Line stacking chips, you ain't gonna say to me, "Yo, why? You on your YouTube? You talking about where'd you go? Change that. Where's the Bentley Coupe at? Like you ain't gonna hit me with that. You're gonna be like, "Yo, Dad, what's going on? Yo, I checked the podcast. I like it. Either I like what you and your man doing or I don't. Whatever." And then you off and gone. But somebody with a persona, they can't do that. They can't do that. Or they've been around something and it's gone now, and they still trying to piggyback off of it. And Jamal said something before too, like, and I think, and we was talking about this, about being in a situation and then being hurt and then lashing out, right? Like, and I was like, yo, we may need that to happen to them, because now they're giving us the insight and the inside of what we didn't know in a particular industry, what was going on behind closed doors. So you got some people that didn't make it in something, and then they get pissed and they come out and start lambasting it. And then, but if they would have made it, they're not gonna do what they're doing. So it's but because they didn't make it, now they're pissed. They're giving us an inside look of what's going on. So in a way, it's like, you weigh in that situation. And I told him, it was like, yo, it might just be it might have been meant for that to happen to them, to expose what's going on. Even though we looking at it like some people, oh, they just hating and they mad because they didn't make it. But now because they were there, they telling us stuff that we didn't know now. You know what I'm saying? So, so you could take that how you want, but I think that's how what we call God works. Right? I think people are put in situations to expose certain things. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
like me and Jamal always say, Jamal in this office right now. I'm in my makeshift studio, but I'm at home, comfy, heat on, AC on, rather. You know what I'm saying? And you got guys that you never see in the house, but they selling you something. You know what I mean? You got guys, and I'm not saying you got to give me a tour of your crib, but I'm just saying, like, just it's like us. We tell you about the music, and that's what it is. How I create the music, how Jamal writes to the music, and that's what we giving y'all. Like, it ain't nothing else. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing comes back to what's the integrity of what you're saying, because everything's for sale. So it comes back to that argument that that Monique had with
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey said it's the money game, and she said, but what about integrity, brother? And that's what we're fighting. It's the money game versus integrity. So if you selling me something and I press you on it, you supposed to have answers for me. You selling me something. Like I got my man Jay Bishop's T-shirt on, right? He's somebody in this producer circle. He's a producer, right? He dropped this album, and I bought the T-shirt and the CD. Support my man, you know what I mean? But when I bought the T-shirt, it told you what kind of T-shirt it was, even to the fabric it was. It was just like, yo, you're not getting the regular tee. Like, this is a good, this is a such and such, it's a such and such Gildan T-shirt. but it's a particular Gilded. So it's a little step up than the mass produced, you know, Williams Family Reunion in Norfolk, Virginia joints. You know what I'm saying? Like I put this joint on, I'm like, okay, this is different tea. It's soft. You know what I'm saying? Like it fit right, it feel good. And but when I bought the tea, it had like it had some information in there about the tea of what he's selling you. Like I'm selling you a decent product. This is a pre-shrunk, such and such, such and such. And I was like, yo, that's dope. So you know what you're getting. You know what I'm
You know what
saying?
I'm saying?
And I
And
think,
I think,
I hear,
I hear,
I hear an echo on your end, I think, or something. But it went away. But so that's all I got, man. You know, whatever you selling me, if I press you on it, you have some answers for me. How do I know this gonna work? You know, what have you done it? You know what I'm saying? Like last week, I told you, yes, I watched stock videos and all of that. I got the Stock Investor Tip for Dummies book, but I have not invested yet. But I have my play for when it's time. But I'm not gonna sit here and do a webinar on stocks and then you start pressing me and then I get mad at you. You know what I mean? So, um that's my spill, bro.
well, I'm gonna do a separate video on this channel, but I'm gonna mention this now. Every 166 years, roughly, we have a conjunction of Jupiter and Pisces. And it represents some form of spiritual nuance or religious or philosophical nuance.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we had a Jupiter and Pisces, and just some background. Jupiter and Pisces, no, I mean, Jupiter and Neptune, I'm sorry. Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. No. Jupiter and Neptune conjunction. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the modern ruler because Neptune was just discovered. Um, I want to say was Neptune discovered in like the 1800, somewhere along in there.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, so you have the two rulers of that sign sitting down on top of each other. The last time that happened was, what's up, Brother Williams? The last time that happened was 1855, 1856. And what happened was a rise of a new spiritualist movement in America. Now, leading up to that and after that, you had things called the mail-in prophet. Where these people would through the mail they would send you these things and they would give you these prophecies on your life and whatever.
I just
This
seen
is
something on that.
this is the era where the Millerites come into play. The Millerites will go on to become the Seventh Day Adventists. This is the era where what's my man?
Joseph Smith.
Uh-huh.
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith, with the Latter-day Saints. My man who would start the Mormons.
Yep.
Joseph Smith was an occultist, all into magic before he started that.
And so
Okay.
was Charles Taz Russell.
That's right. And so was Miller, who started the 7 Day. All these cats, and they were all Masons as well.
Mm-hmm. That's why the Jehovah Witness building has no windows.
That come on, speak about it. So all of this was lead up, during, and after Jupiter Neptune conjunction.
Mm-hmm.
We are repeating that same, as Yoel says, cosmic wave. We're repeating it because next year we will have a Jupiter Neptune conjunction in Pisces. And so we're seeing now our version of the mail-in prophets. We're seeing our version of, and
On a huge scale, because a lot of them on
huge.
YouTube. A lot of them are on YouTube, and they trying to move you to their Patreon.
And the thing now is that what's this is more expansive because
Yes.
along with that conjunction, like Dap said, we're moving into the Aquarian age, which means everything that was on a small scale is now like everything that happened 166 years ago, multiply that infinitely. That's how big it is relative to that period. And what could very well happen is this. If you think of Pisces, you're thinking of water, right? You're thinking
Mm-hmm.
of this huge body of water that dissolves everything to where nothing exists anymore or there are no boundaries. And if you look, that's kind of where everything is. Where we at right now. There are no boundaries. Anything goes. Like people are terraforming from where they started. Like they came out and they was all on the integrity and each one teach one and this and that, and then it has morphed into something as if that never existed. The boundaries have been like have dissipated.
Mm. Yeah. And being nudged by our society,
That's it.
because our society is built on capitalism. This is why when the pandemic came, and I know y'all know this, what did they give us? Most of us stimulus to stimulate the economy, to get because it's all based on buying. This is why you're bombarded with ads on top of ads. This is why we on the lower caste has bought into what the upper elite has done. And like Jamal said earlier, it, we're doing it on a miniature scale. We're taking everything that they do at the higher level and doing it now to ourselves. It's like we're eating ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we're listening to elitists. We listening to uh, people with money and their investment advice and all of that, which is cool. But when we look at the grand scheme of it, everything's for sale. It's just eating each other. You know what I mean? No one, I used to sit in these meetings at Frito Lay, and they weren't even talking about humans. They was talking about consumers. And I used to just sit back and bug like, damn, like these motherfuckers don't even look at nobody as a human. They just like consumers. How can we get people to consume our product?
Consumers and numbers.
Consumers and numbers, bro. Like to the point they was like, you know, they know all the hot chips and hot Fritos sell in the urban neighborhoods. Like to that level. And I'm sitting in the meeting like, yo, these like who's ever doing the analytics here is A1. Like they got it down. They got this thing down. All the baked stuff go to the nice neighborhoods, all the baked lays and all of that stuff and healthy snacks go to the more affluent neighborhood. All your trash snacks go to the urban neighborhood. Like they had it all planned out. They knew where they were going to get their sales at. They did the analytics. And I was just sitting in the meeting bugged out, like, yo, these cats got it figured out. And now those stories and those things are coming to the lower cast. And for those of us with the wherewithal of understanding, we using it. I always talk about this book called The Hatches Man Playbook. And I came across this book by watching a YouTube video and reading comments, and somebody had it posted in the comment. And I went and looked the book up on the Kindle and got it on the Kindle. I got a digital download of it. And this book talks about being in corporate America and how you have to watch yourself if you have too much information or you know too much, and how people will try to hinder you if they know you could take their position. It's a quick synopsis. And my wife, I was just telling my wife, I'm like, yo, this book's bugged out. And I forgot how she hit me, but she was like, yeah, you can either use that book to take a, like, she was like, you can either use that to do what that book is saying people do, or you can either use it for the understanding of what people do. And they go back to what Jamal said earlier. How are you using the information you're getting? Because you could use it for understanding, or you could use it to continue the manipulation. Because I was stumped, you know? So, so now you can find pretty much everything on YouTube. And let's just be honest, we got people that just, you're going to have a sect of human beings that they grinding, and they looking for the hustle move. And now you got a lot of playbooks to play from. So this is why we say just be, our whole thing is just like, be careful. You know what I mean? You're successful in your own right. Nobody got to tell you you're successful. And if you want to tap in with somebody, tap in. We just, our whole thing is just like, don't fall for a trap, and just make sure whatever you tapping into is beneficial from the people you getting it from. You know, that's just pretty much, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's you can take up the collection on that. That's the that's the closing words of the sermon right there. I mean, we can pass the plate around now. I mean, for real, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. And here's some of the tricks of just the cosmic shift, is that as we go into Aquarius, this whole idea of freedom can be dangerous. Um, this idea of breaking free from the boundaries, you know what I'm saying? Boundaries are necessary. Just as much as a boundary can be detrimental, it can be, what's the word? It can be helpful, for lack of a better, like our bones in our body provide boundaries, as in structure. And if we don't have them, then we're just mush. And so the excitement of us shifting can cause us to want to abandon things that we think are outdated. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not sexy to talk about work ethic. And I had to give it up. My man that I was talking about, Savage, the Savage finance guy, he does say, and he's right when he says that. Work ethic still does matter. You know,
That's why
um,
me and my wife been in business for so long.
yeah, you know, um, you're just not. Some things just don't ever go away. As long as the clock keeps on ticking, those those motifs are still important. That's why they embedded into the zodiac wheel. There's a house dedicated to work ethic, dedicated to service. Um, there's a house dedicated to value. You know, um, there's a house dedicated to building the structure. And not I don't want to go on a tangent, but I just want to say this. If the ninth house is the vision, the big grand vision, seeing what is not right there in front of you, seeing beyond and afar, then what comes after it is the house that says, well, this is how you're going to build it. Okay, you see it. Well, how you going to build it? And all those of 10, 6, 2, earth, structure, grounded, common sense, work. And those things just don't sell. They don't because again, we're talking about victimization.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is set up to beat you down. So
Yeah.
it's only natural for people, including myself, to want relief and to want something easier, or to desire to wake up and just do what you love to do.
Right.
But there's that old Zen, and I'm gonna yield it back to you. There's that old Zen Buddhist saying that says, "Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water." That shit is easier said than done.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Stay the course. You know,
Stay
because
the
I was
course.
looking at perspectives of life, man, and it's like you right, bro. Like you start tapping into the movies, and I'll just speak for self. Like the movies we like, it's like we always, I wanted to see the gangster movie. I wanted to see, like, it's all negative stuff. That's excitement, and here and there they throw some positive stuff in there, but it's like I gravitated to the gangster movies and just seeing violence and all of that, right? And you kind of just think, oh, that's just that we want to know the inside, so we watch the Untouchables and Bugsy and Scarface and all of that, and then we bring that to the neighborhood. We take the movie and we bring it to the neighborhood and we act things out, and I think psychologically what it does is it starts leaning you, it could possibly lean you into mimicry of what you're seeing in these movies to do on the street. So the question becomes, if we see more positive uh movies on how to better yourself, grow yourself, whatever that may look like, do we then in turn use a mimicry for that and have a different outcome? But they don't provide that, so you got to find that on your own. Like they don't want it's like they don't want us to be in a position of great mental health, physical health, because then their paradigm dissipates.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever someone comes out being truthful and talking truth, they labeled as a hater. They labeled as, they get all these different labels. Or what's your man Kane say? Oh, you trying to drop knowledge. Like, nah, like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm trying to get you to see a different way. But you so stuck in the paradigm of what we've been programmed into that you just can't see it. Cause you just think this is because you know what happens. Oh, this is just the way it is. So this is just how life go. So once you buy that, it's a wrap. Yeah, this is just how it go, bro. Nah, this ain't how it go. You could do something
Mm-hmm.
different. Now I think now I get into my individualism in the sense of I don't know how people wired, because that's a factor. But my thing is if you wake up and know you need to do something different, you get a download like, man, I'm tired of this. I got to do something different. Then you start seeking out ways to do that. And that's that, maybe you talk to someone, maybe you go to the library and grab some books, but I think the first bulb lit is when you wake up and say, man, I got to do something different. And then you stay on that course, you'll find that path to go down to change your life situation.
Yeah. For some people, unfortunately, the internet was that path.
Yeah.
And the path was just about, I need to find a better way to eat.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So for those, we circle back a few. Let's go back. And you had those that said, "Oh, now I can run this game." The game that I was running before the internet. Now I can really run this game because now the pool of people I can pull from is way outside of my little city I live in.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got the world I can pull from.
Mm-hmm.
So you got those that still on a manipulative tip. And then you got some that's really trying to give you some really good information, dealing in integrity. And you got to find that balance, you know. And I'm not quick to buy a lot of stuff. There's a lot of shit for sale. And, I'm not raising my hand to buy all of it. I just look back and I say, damn, like I just use what I said on this live. What's the benefit? Where's the receipt for what you're selling? Like I could watch a dude change an engine out of a car. I'm getting benefit from that. If I ever needed to do that with that particular car, I can go watch that guy's video and follow along what he did and change out an engine.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video on how to change the blower motor in my car. Found out where it was and everything. Went and bought the part, watched the video. I said, "Oh, okay, wow, that was easy." And changed it out myself. Where before, I would have took it to a shop and got charged an arm and a leg for something that was right there under my feet that I could have done. That thing sat right under my glove compartment. And I went and bought the part and did it. But I found out how to do it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I need to replace a headrest. I watched the video on YouTube. So that's something tangible. You know what I mean? And
And YouTube is a tool in itself.
yeah. Yeah. And UL said something earlier. He said, see if I can find it. He says everyone. This is back at the 12:40 a.m. mark. He says everyone wants to sell a piece, not linked together, and make the big picture. And that's what we're doing with the music. That's why we have this Cash App in the banner. When I seen that, it made me think of that because we want you all to be a part of what we're doing and get recognized for it. You know what I'm saying? That's something tangible. When we put music out, those who donate to the Cash App will be put in the credits of the music because you helped bring forth the music through a monetary way. So, you know, that's what we want to do.
Yep.
If you enjoy the art, you enjoy the music, and you want to help us continue it and bring it forth, because the money ain't for me and Jamal to get it and split it half and then I go buy a Cuban link. No, it's to cycle back in to what we're doing to bring you more music,
Right.
to make music videos when we find that videographer, and to do merch.
Yep.
So
Yep.
when you donate, we can give you something special for being a part of the Think Music uh crew.
Trajectory.
Yeah. I heard someone say everything that comes from my business goes back into my business to just grow it, you know? So that's something tangible. It's not just, you know, donate to us and we'll see you later. No, it's something tangible. You
Right.
get something for something outside of the art, but now you'll get a material gain.
hmm and mention, and again, like you said, mention in the credits. The the credits, I think, might be the most valuable as far as keepsake,
Mm-hmm.
because and I know everybody feels like what they're doing is the next wave,
Mm-hmm.
but I know for sure that 20 years from now, if and I'm just putting a number, but for sure 20 years from now, the art that we create will be discussed. It'll be nouveau, you know. It'll be it'll be mentioned as pioneering music, hip hop, that opened the doorway to a renaissance in hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for several reasons. It's when music's created, it's not just how you create the track, or how dope your lyrics. It is the fire and the essence that is in the vessel that goes into the creation of the music. Okay. Most, back in the day, I would get beats from assholes. I didn't even really, if I knew them in person, I didn't even really like them. Um, or it was somebody who was online and they selling you a lease, and you might have 1,000 other people you look up and they rapping on the same beat, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But if your name is mentioned in the credits of something, that's timeless.
You're
That
coming along with
means
us.
that, hey, please say that again.
You're coming along with us.
You're coming along with us. and it'll be record to show that you had the foresight in 2021 to be like, we saw it. We saw it before all of y'all saw it. It's official. We was already down,
Right.
you know. Should I share the name of the next project?
Yes.
Monaco Vision. Just listen to the titles. Can we get our flowers on the put the music aside? Can you just give
Oh
us our
man.
flowers on the titles? Monaco Vision. Come on,
Listen,
man. That shit is fly.
you might have me pull something up, my G.
Pull it up.
Oh man. This next project, man. Um, let's give them the names of it and just kind of. We haven't found a videographer. Me and Jamal, we be throwing back and forth ideas for this project. And on this project, Jamal is a 007 type, right? This is my vision. I told him my vision, right? I said, bro, I see you as like you a 007 and you paying attention to everything that's going on around you, right? So let me pull up because me and Jamal, like, listen, man, we really every project you go on our band camp, every project we drop is thought behind it. Now we don't now that we got this podcast, we'll probably go more in depth of like what was the thought behind the project and why it's titled the way it is and get into some get into some background in that way that we haven't before. But I'm gonna pull up the track list. Okay. So it's a 5-song EP. Now, Monaco Visions, if y'all know about Monaco, that's a destination. They do the Monaco. There's a Grand Prix there every year. They do a race there, and that place is strictly for the hyper elite. If you got a couple dollars, you can go there. Just put it that way. I'm not, it's a place for the elite. It's a place for celebrities, ball players, all that type of stuff. If you got bread. So we start the EP off with Caribbean islands, right? So Jamal flies in, you know what I mean? Secret agent. He flies into the Caribbean island. Now, if you go on there and look at Monaco, it's very it's very small and it's next to France, I want to say. And it's very small. It's a real small piece of land. But to live there, you got to have some exorbitant wealth. Like, I mean, people think living in New York is expensive. This place shuts New York down. I mean, you could get a 1,200 square foot apartment is going to cost you 1.2. So it's ill. So he flies in. It's an island, so it's on the Caribbean, right? So he's on the island wilding. He's chilling. Then the second joint is called Moroccan Nights. So now he flies in during the day. Now it's nightfall. He out, sipping whatever he sip. I don't know what he drinks, but he's sipping whatever he sips. And then he finds something, right? And they pull off in the flying spur. That's the third song, right? So now he's in his whip, right? Now he's doing a little shopping. He's moving around. He goes into the watch store. He goes into the Rolex store. Guess what he go cop? He cops an Oyster Perpetual Rollie with the day and date. Come on, right? That's the fourth song. And then at the end of the night, he's with his joint. They done had a good day. They cruising. And now they on their way to the house. And the last song is called Monaco Visions. That's the concept behind this joint. Now his lyrical, I'll let him tap in on that, where he went on the lyric side.
I'm writing these this order down.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Caribbean island.
Moroccan Nights.
Uh,
Then
Flying
flying.
Spur.
Yep.
And then
Oyster Perpetual Rolly.
right.
And then Monaco Visions.
Oh man. Gonna be a monster.
So,
It's gonna be-
and I got a question because, and I ain't say it, but I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna ask the chat because Jamal said he don't think y'all will want to hear this. Would y'all like for Jamal to break bars down? If anyone's interested, because me personally, I feel like his bars is a conversation in itself. We can have a podcast just on his bars. So would y'all like for Jamal to break down his bars? He don't think y'all would. Let's just keep it a stat.
yeah, I mean that's the truth. I mean I wouldn't that's it. I dig it. Okay.
Brianna, I like breaking bars down.
Yeah. That's
I'm gonna
dope.
plug my laptop in so I can pull a couple of these beats up because I think when they hear these beats, this is what we say, this is high finance rap.
Yeah, that's how
this project.
Yeah, we definitely high finance rap. Elegant. Yeah, bet. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, Lance. Yeah, he says it's cool to view the artwork from this side, but always nice to hear the artist's original thoughts. Bet. Bet. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, we
Lance said it's cool to view the artwork from the side, but always nice to hear the artist's original. Yes, yeah. See, that's the beauty of what we do on this podcast, bro. That's why the podcast is called Think Muzic Podcast, because we tap into the astrology, the metaphysics, and what we were talking about earlier. But then we like to tap into the music we do. And man, I always told Jamal this. I was like, it's funny. I had said this about Nas. I was like, and I'm not. I've listened to a lot of Nas interviews, and I'm not saying Nas has never done it. I'm not saying no one's ever asked him. But my thing was like, why nobody never asked Nas about what he's rapping about? He just automatically gets he's one of the greatest, and it's just like I don't know if it's when the interviewers are interviewing, they in awe and they just like, asking them regular questions. But I'm like, yo, me and Jamal got a chance to ask some of these people's questions. They're gonna be totally different than what the mainstream ask them. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is like, where was you at when you wrote "It Was Written"? You know what I'm saying? Like that's my favorite Nas joint. Like, yo, "It Was Written" is an amazing album, and he's so descriptive. Like those are the questions I would like to get into.
see what we got.
I'm pulling the I just got the laptop plug. It was dead. I had to plug it in. Now I'm about to pull up machine.
Or it's the perpetual rolly.
Date.
When I get when I get those titles, it's like, damn, and what am I gonna do with this? So I know one thing is, oh, excuse me. One thing is, it's always heavily shrouded in metaphor. Um, and I don't even think I don't even think I'm really trying to do it. I get, but I wanted to, since that, just 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 take that one, that oyster perpetual rolling, a timepiece. I just wanted to play on the concept of having good timing. Having good timing is equivalent to, this floating hand, beautiful timepiece. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I just think the tracks are just, they're cinematic. That's the word. The beats are cinematic. Is it coming up?
Yeah. Hold on once. Let me see something. I might be tripping.
What's up to all my patrons? Good as the people.
I was working on something. I had to save that real quick. And these beats might be on this computer, and I'm just tripping. I got music all over the place. Okay, so what did we say? Okay, so now we say we started off. Yeah, they all right here. So okay, cool. All right.
God bless Q-tips. Oh man.
So Caribbean islands.
Dun, 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 dun. Caribbean islands. Oh man. You can unplug. See if he'll come. I don't know if he unplugged his computer or what. Should be back on in a second. Y'all still there in the chat? I don't know what happened. Oh, there you go.
About
All
that.
right.
Okay. Caribbean islands. I hope this thing play because my CPU is jumping. So he's flying in right now.
Yeah, that's dope.
So that's Caribbean islands. He just flew. He just flew in, right? And that's a bar fest. It's not really much going on in that beat. You know, it's like three transitions. It's a beat for him to bar down. You know what I mean? We call we got these little sayings, and it's like, yo, that's a bar fest or this and that.
Mhm.
Um, so we transition from that, and then we go to Moroccan Nights. And um, did you want to say anything about the lyrics before I play this next joint,
About Moroccan Nights.
or about Caribbean islands?
No, I mean, you know, I would say like what I've grown to where I might have several versions before I settle on. I'm thinking I might keep what I got, you know, but I might rewrite it. But I like the intro though. And from our age group, we remember $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
that's how I kick it off. $6 Million Man, My Woman, Bionic. We rose from the underworld below the dirt, plutonic. You know, the fluttering of her wings must have been the tonic. She raised the staff from the dead with vibration of sonic. So it's floss music, but it's like what's that word we called it? Like we came up with some phrase the other day on the phone.
Luxury. Uh, what do we call it? Something luxury rap.
Luxury I don't know. Um
Luxurious conscious rappers.
yeah,
Something
something like that.
right.
Um but yeah, that was kind of but I might rewrite it to fit the narrative of the the just now landing into the island, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. And it's like I said, that was my, because me and Jamal, obviously we have different views um when we hear this music. So in my mind, when I listen to it, and when I listen to all these beats, I have a playlist on my phone. I just put it on, and like, I don't know what he's writing, so I'm just imagining. When I'm cleaning, I put the playlist on, and I'm like, yo, he's a secret agent. and he just flew into Morocco. He just flew into the Monaco, and he's going in. Nostalgic conscious lines. I like that, UL. So now we go to Moroccan night. So now it's the evening. Now Jamal's on the he's in the I was telling him this the other day. And yo, pause. So now he got the linen on with the he got the linen pants on with the with the button up short sleeve on with two buttons open, sipping on what he sip on, right? So then we get into Moroccan nights. He's on the sand now, peeping. Hear those congos? Now he's surveying everything. Lance said he can see the vision. Much respect, Lance. Yo, he's gonna kill this. He's gonna kill this. So that's Moroccan Nights, right? So he's on the, picture being on the beach. You know, when you go to the Caribbean, they playing those steel drums. Like when me and Brianna used to go to Bahama Breeze, there used to be this dude in there playing the steel drums. He got the Caribbean music going. He's just like din, 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 on them steel drums. Like that's what I envision when I hear that joint. Okay. So now, he's chilling. Him and his joint, they about to roll out. So we told you they hopping into the Flying Spur. So this is the music. Do you have anything? Did you have anything for the lyrics before I play this next joint?
Nah, I'm gonna let you go through them. So.
Okay. So here's Flying Spur. you gotta really get a listening to what's going around, what's going on in the background in these beats. Now they chase.
The vision through the windshield, crystal clear, pristine, a long way from poison water running through the ravine. The structure of the vessel, sleep, let me tell, no lies. My woman rests her thighs on seas made from northern European bull's hides. Cool breeze on mine, a little warmer on the side. No grape upon from the kitchen. This turmeric is organic, the GMO missing. American walnut and cherry wood glisten. 6 liters listen to the sound of that engine.
He's descriptive. He told you what those. He told you the seats they were sitting on in that flying spur. He went deep. He went deep on y'all on that one. Oh man, told y'all about the sound system. The whole. What's the name of that sound system again, fam?
Olufsen and Bong. No, Bong and Olufsen.
Yes. That's only in your upper echelon vehicles.
And of course, the flying spur is like a metaphor also for this pristine nature of your own vessel, you know.
Mm-hmm. So now he's with his joint. Now they cruising through the town going shopping now, right? So he walks into the Rolly store. He walks into the Rolex store to cop the perpetual Rolly, and here's his theme music.
My timing is impeccable for knowledge presence only. My timing is impeccable for knowledge presence only.
He just copped a rollie.
But the way I'm gonna address this Rolly is as a metaphor for
mm,
time.
for time.
Oyster perpetual Rolly, my timing is impeccable for knowledge peasants owe me. They first dime like tithe, cause my mind unwinds like exquisite fine wine. Grapes of wrath or vine wraps rice and olive oil in a cocoon, and in time the dish emerges, he tastes his fork divine. The game ain't supine, it's upright you climb like Georgia pine. The word cooked like Rob Irvine. Yes, sir, I'm beautiful in the face Jerusalem. The game older than Methuselah. Get juice from 'em. To quench your thirst from a quasar burst. Think music be first. Others watch rehearse. By the old ish already in hearse. We laughing at the afterbirth. Parents of the game.
Come on, guys. Come on. Yo, listen. We um we've put out a bunch of EPs and singles. Um and this one I'm telling y'all. This one right here
It
is
might be
gonna
the best one.
yeah, this is gonna be the one that um is just showing our depth in our creation. You know, if you go listen to our catalog of what we have out now, um, it's all different. You know, we rap. You know, he's rhyming on all different type of stuff, man. And that's what we want to give you as Think Music. We don't want to give y'all the tried and true this and that. You know, now mind you, when Jamal chooses everything he spits to. So what y'all getting is what inspires him. That's the beauty of our group is that I send him loads of beats, and then as he's sitting at the table, overcome by grapes and fruit and pheasant. Yeah, give me, give me, give me some of these grapes over here, and cut me an apple, and
And me.
yeah, hand me. So when he's sitting back and he's like, okay, this, it's like he's inspired to write. I don't send him beats like, yo, this is the one. Like, I create, send, he taps in, and that's how we create these projects. You know what I'm saying? It's really organic. And and that's the beauty. It allows me to continue to do what I do. As I said before, it allows him to write how he writes. I don't know what he's gonna write. He don't know what I'm gonna send him. And but it all works. So it's a ill synchronicity there. So now you've had, and this is the last joint. So he's in the Caribbean islands. He's in Monaco. He's chilling that night. He hopped in the flying spur. Him and wifey went shopping. He walked into the Rolly store and copped the Oyster Perpetual Rolex with the day and date. Let's be specific. And I got that title from my man Nas. Now they about to go to the crib and it's just and just you know enjoy the night, enjoy each other, look out over the stars, and that's where you get Monaco visions. Here we go.
That shit sound like Dynasty.
Breakdown.
That shit cinematic. Listen, when I heard that shit, I said, "This is a motherfucking movie right here."
No doubt.
I got to read what I wrote. What this because this was this this is not. I'm just gonna read the first stanza.
All right.
Butter pecan, soft her skin, man. Beautiful tan against the Monaco beach sands. Plage du Lavado, salmon escargot, Goyard bags and XX cargo. She blew Virginia Slim smoke out her nostrils. Her essence turned men into apostles. He followed her gospel, even if Golgotha was the final step and his body turned into fossil. She wore minimal mascara, Charles James Jacques Foff dress wearer. She kept a gold brooch on top of her dresser, all natural, all no lead presses. Every curve is the subject of a love letter. This particular day, Saturn wrapped Pluto in a sweater. The Cold War's brewing, but that don't stop the dry scotch consuming or midnight crooning, cause one kiss from her is soul soothing. Man, let me tell you.
Listen, listen, bro. Come on. Yo, you said the Virginia Slums. Yo, come on, my G. This shit right here is different.
Stuff, man.
This EP is gonna be different, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something.
Oh man. Yo, so listen, that's the next project, man. Monaco Visions. And like we said, man, if you want to be a part of what Think Music doing, man, y'all want to support, hit the Cash App. And listen, we talked about money and people selling shit in this podcast, but what we giving you is tangible. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you donate, you're on the credits for whatever we doing. You know what I'm saying? You email us your name if you want your real name on there, if you want your YouTube name on there, whatever. We're gonna put that in the credits of the projects moving forward, who support. And you're gonna be a part of us of helping us put music out. You know what I'm saying? Along with us putting money towards it also. So it's gonna be a kitty, and then we just gonna keep putting music out. And we got loads of music to put out because we're ready to put our debut album out. And when we play y'all the shit from the debut album, no one has listen, and this is no exaggeration. I think we told y'all the title. The name of the title of the album is called Transformative Moments. It's 3 songs, and each song is no less than 8 minutes. And the transformative moment song is 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
The Echoes in the Chamber song is 12 minutes. And what did we decide to call? Yeah, I think you wrote it down. We decided to call Matheny and Maze something else. And that's about 8 minutes. The breadth of our debut album is going to, it's about, it's it's about 40 minutes of music, but the way we set it up, we make these things called opuses. I make these beats called opuses, where it's a bunch of beats, and it's three opuses. The depthness that Jamal penned, the well that he dipped his pen into, the penness, is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. So, um, this EP is gonna be dope, and our debut album, Transformative Moments, is gonna be. He said Monaco Visions is a movie. Transformative Moments, you're gonna have to sit with it.
Yeah, for real. For real. For real.
It's a it's a it's a lyrical masterpiece. It's a lyrical and musical masterpiece, and you're gonna have to sit with it. It ain't gonna be no one play listen. It's gonna be a sit through listen where put your earbuds on, make sure the kids is asleep,
Mm-hmm.
and get lost in translation. That's what we're attempting to do with the debut album. So once again, if you want to be a part of what we doing, we got money towards the Cash App. Y'all add in. We're gonna begin the merch. We're gonna, because we wanna, we when we drop stuff, we want to do CDs, we want to do records. So we got a whole vision, and we putting our heart into this music and our creativity into it to give you something outside of the norm, you know. And if you like what we've done so far, you want to be a part of it. The Cash App is right there, man. And let's tap in. You
And
know what I
I
mean?
want, my bad.
No, you good?
I want to add in something too. I just want to make it clear because, like Dap said, based on the content we put down tonight, we're not dependent on the public to pay our bills.
No.
We work.
Yes.
Um, this is about the music. So if you do feel compelled to do something, just know, like he alluded to earlier, we ain't like, hey man, we got $5 in, send me $250 and I can go and get me a smoothie. Or I can put a down payment on a smoothie at Smoothie Factory because you can't get one of them motherfuckers for no less than $7, $8, you
Right.
know. But that's not the case. We work for to take care of our needs.
Yes.
This is an opportunity to take an Aquarian approach to art. You know, we know all the NFTs and all that stuff is buzzing, but we created our own little Aquarian way of our tribe, what we call the inner sanctum, to rock with us. You
Yes. The
know,
inner sanctum. Yes.
and on the credits, that's what you will go under. You will go under the inner sanctum of Think Music. You know, and your name would appear, um, and for time immemorial, you know, you'll be linked. You know, imagine being, and not trying to compare us with Miles Davis, but what if this is the equivalent of a Miles Davis maiden voyage into a new realm in hip hop.
Right.
And imagine if your name was like associated with Miles Davis in 1958, or when he was young Miles, 1960, Um, so, and we're not just trying to hype it up like you you just keep listening. Just keep listening. The music gets better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the beauty of the music for me also is like Jamal doesn't pull from everything I send him in one lump sum. Like when we did the freelance project, it was beats on there from 2018, beats on there from 2020, beats on there from 2019. Like, so we're doing alchemy with the beats. It's like, okay, this fits with this fits with that. Let's put it together in a cohesive way. Let's sit back and see how each song going. We have these talks now. Like now when it comes to like me making beats and him writing, we doing that on, but then when we come together, we like, okay, what song flow into the next song, and we be trying to look at the what how the titles flow into each other or the lyrical content, and so now we're sequencing the album, and you know thought go into that. Like it's not like, oh, let's just put 1 2 3 4 together and just put it out. No, like we really have in-depth conversations about the sequencing of these albums also. Like how we just gave y'all a vision for Monaco Visions. You know what I'm saying? So when we come on a podcast and talk about the music and then you go and listen to it, now you got, see, I think a lot of artists don't talk about, I mean, I'm not going to say a lot don't. I know some do. But what's the concept of the album? And then when you listen to the album, when you critique it, critique me on what we said the concept was. Now, yeah, you're gonna have your own individual thoughts, and I like this, I didn't like that, or whatever. But the overall project, critique us on that, and we got this platform to talk about it and let y'all and give y'all an inside look. And then when you go listen, you get the end product. You know what I'm saying? So we want to get into the studio next month to record this. As you can see, the beats is done. Jamal, I think he might have a little more writing to do, but we would like to release this next month, and then we would like to give y'all the debut album because that's ready to go too. But on our business side, we just want to tie some things together on the business side. But we would love to get y'all the debut album over the summer. I think it would be perfect for the summer. And I think that title encapsulates what he's talking about going on in the astrology with every 166 years, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That there's a change. So now you get our debut album called Transformative Moments. Like this ain't no play, So, that's all I got, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the instrumentals. I hope y'all enjoy the lyrics that he spit and can imagine what they're gonna sound like over those beats. and get ready for the release of Monaco Visions, the EP, next month.
Yes, sir. A cinematic experience in music.
Yep. Yep. Conscious bars over cinematic beats.
Oh man. You may almost just need to put it out as, I don't know. I think you maybe just need to put out one with the bars and just an instrumental.
I got you. Yeah, so what we could do is how when people they might do a 10-year anniversary or something. And on the album, like I've seen albums where, like Jay Dilla's Rough Draft, for instance, um, he has all the songs and then all the instrumentals behind it. So we could do that. We could do all the songs and then, the 5 instrumentals on the project. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's do that. That'll be dope. Yep, that'll be dope.
Is that Jay Smith said, appreciate the gems, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for tapping in.
No doubt, for sure. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and rocking with us. We hope y'all enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
And if the creek don't rise, we'll be back next week for another episode.
Yeah.
And y'all know I'm long in the tooth, so it's time for the old man to turn it in.
Yes. Shout out to Flex Washington, Nene, Serious Biz, UL, Brianna,
Lance,
Trickery, Lance, Bro Washington, Bro Williams. Sorry about that.
get Flex.
Yeah, said Flex.
Serious Biz.
Yep. And
Nene.
Smith. Yep.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
Well, we signing off. And we'll see y'all on the top side.
Peace.
Peace.